Someone I read somewhere, someone made the observation that politics attracts the most mediocre of people in the first place. And most of the times they're downright evil. Well, here, watch this.
Thanks so much for being with us, Mayor. You say that you assume everyone has the virus and is just asymptomatic. You want casinos open, Vegas back in business. Is that a responsible call to make?
No.
Can I bet what she's going to say?
Anderson's yes. Let's bet. Let's take bets. Anderson is now acting like a lawyer. He knows the answer to this question. Is that a responsible thing? He knows the answer. No, it's not responsible. Of course, he knows the answer. So let's listen to what she says. Now, like a person like this, like after let's listen to her answer. She's the mayor of the city. Okay.
That wasn't the call that I was really making. It was to get people back to work. We have so many in our hospitality crew. Probably we're 2.5 million people down here in Southern Nevada, and we have so many out of work because of the casino shutdowns.
But you want the casinos open, yes?
Well, that's a piece of it. I want the hotel rooms open. We have 155,000 hotel rooms, right. And most of our people who live here and are part of the population are hooked to those hotel rooms in some way or ancillary way.
So you want like hotel rooms, casinos, the theaters open? I mean, you want Vegas back in business, no?
I want our restaurants open. I want our small businesses open. I want our people back in employment. We have so many families that can't even afford to get the groceries for their family because they've been out of work for 6 weeks.
But casinos, you want them open because obviously visitors are not going to come without casinos and shows and things.
Well, no, they'll come because they love. We've got Major League Sports here, and we've got so many answers. I'd love everything open because I think we've had viruses for years that have been here.
That is the call you said you weren't making. That is the call. You want casinos open, you want stadiums open, you want restaurants open, you want Vegas back in business.
And Anderson, you're being very specific, and I appreciate it because that's where you're seeing it. No, the reality is I want us open in the city of Las Vegas so our people can go back to work. And that's it, because we're putting children and families back out on the street, and very much a part of it for our convention business are our hotels and, yes, gambling. And gambling is a part of it.
So you want conventions in the town, too?
Absolutely. I want everything back. We've never closed down the United States. We've never closed down Nevada. We've never closed down Las Vegas because that's our job. And entertainment.
Boy, she started off like an unwilling participant, and now she just everything. Let's open it up. Wow, she totally. And he's like, he's like, yeah. So you are saying this? And now she's full blown going. There we go.
Capital of the world, where everything's clean. We would never have gotten to the point we are now as a center for entertainment and conventions and sports and everything else. And so positive without being clean.
Right. You're talking about encouraging hundreds of thousands of people to come to Las Vegas. I get the financial losses people are suffering, which is awful. But you're encouraging, hundreds of thousands of people coming there in casinos, smoking, drinking, touching slot machines, breathing circulated air, and then returning home to states around America and countries around the world. Doesn't that sound like a virus petri dish? I mean, how is that safe?
You know what it sounds like? You're being an alarmist. I'm not. I've lived a long life. I grew up in the heart of Manhattan. I know what it's like to be with subways and on buses and crammed into elevators. I think you are by saying what you have just said.
So you don't believe there should be any social distancing? You don't believe that this is
Of course I believe there should be. Of course.
How do you do that in a casino?
That's up to them to figure out. I don't own a casino.
This is unbelievable. Wow.
Don't know anything about
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. You're the mayor of Las Vegas, and you want casinos to be open, even though you have no authority, thankfully, over casinos. But you say open them up, but you have no responsibility about how that would be done safely?
No, you're blurring. No, you're blurring.
You said it's not your job.
There. I am not a private owner of a hotel. I wish I were. And I would have the cleanest hotel with 6 feet figured out for every human being who comes in there.
If you can't figure out how to do this safely, why, as mayor of a city that you were responsible for the people's safety, are you calling for something that you have no plan for how it would be done safely?
I am not a private owner. That's the competition in this country, the free enterprise, and to be able to make sure that what you offer the public meets the needs of the public. Right now, we're in a crisis health-wise, and so for a restaurant to be open or a small boutique to be open, they better figure it out. That's their job. That's not the mayor's job.
Okay, you said in another interview, you said, quote, let the businesses open. Competition will destroy that business if, in fact, they become evident they have a disease, they're closed down. It's that simple.
Yes.
Do you stand by that? Because it would take weeks, as I think you probably know, before anyone realized a place was a epicenter of viral infection. I mean, that it would take weeks for that would actually to show up. You're comfortable with that?
You're a very good interviewer. I've watched you for years, and you're wonderful. And I'm not going down that road. I am sticking with what I'm asking for. Please, our governor.
I'm focused on what you're saying, Madam Mayor, and what you're saying doesn't make sense.
You're trying to get me to say something. No, that's your opinion of what you think I'm saying, and I am being very clear.
Okay.
I think our governor has a great and a difficult job.
But you're saying competition.
I want
you want it to be like the free market. Everybody gets to go into these restaurants, and if it becomes a center for viral infection, that the markets will decide?
Anderson, no, we weren't broken.
That's what you said.
We weren't broken when we were closed down. And
you
yet
stand by what you said.
I think I had it.
You said let the businesses open. Competition will destroy that business if, in fact, they get evidence they have a disease there. So that should happen. Just let the businesses open. If it becomes a vector for viral infection and those people go back to their states and around the world, so be it.
It's a responsibility of each one of us as a human being and part of the civilized world to know when we're sick. We don't do bad things to people at all, ever. This is a city that's built itself because of the ingenuity and creativity and passion that people have here to work and to live the American dream.
Right.
And that's who we are. And we have proven we've been very successful. So all your questions are great, but I'm not offer my call. Please let us open the city of Las Vegas. Let us get back to business.
There's Chinese researchers have shown how this virus spreads. And I just want to put up for our viewers. I just want to put up for our viewers. This is a restaurant.
Anderson, you are tough.
No, I'm not
We're
talking.
back to China. This isn't China.
Yeah,
this is Las Vegas, Nevada.
Wow. Okay, that's really ignorant. This is a restaurant, and the yellow.
So Anderson starts to show her some of the science. Study shows how coronavirus spreads in a restaurant. And she says, well, this is Las Vegas. We're not China. As if the virus acts differently. Okay, here we go.
To say
that's an ignorant statement. That's a restaurant, and yes, it's in China, but there are human beings too. That yellow is a person who is asymptomatic and infected, and all those other red circles are other diners who that one diner passed the virus to. All those other people became infected in a restaurant that had air conditioning, and they believe it was the air conditioning which helped the virus spread to all those other people.
You remember the Legionnaire's disease in 1976 in Philadelphia came all through the air conditioning. You don't remember because you're younger.
I do remember.
Typhoid Mary, who I think passed away, well, anyway, during the late 30s, rode the buses, was a cook, and she was asymptomatic, and she spreaded a fear of getting typhoid, and she never showed a sign of it. And she lived most of her life quarantined. The reality was, I think 58 people passed away from typhoid. And so we're aware of this. We learn from history. We've had Ebola. We've had the West Nile. We've had polio. We've had these horrific,
none of those were as
painful,
infectious in Las Vegas. I mean, you didn't have people with Ebola on a casino floor. You know what? If you did,
we don't know that.
Well, yeah, you do, because if you had it,
a neighbor of mine died from West Nile because the swimming pool on the next property was filled with mosquitoes, and the people who had abandoned the house left the pool full. So we live with this. This is part of life.
Just as mayor,
is the challenges.
As mayor, are you not concerned when you see just that restaurant graphic, how air-conditioned spreads this and other people become infected?
Yes, from Legionnaire's disease. That's just what I said. We lost a lot of people in that hotel who had gone ahead and been in the hotel and there were steps, it came through.
Right, and there were steps to take to stop that by changing the air filtering, if my memory serves me correct, on Legionnaire's disease. There are not yet the steps to take with this other than social distancing.
Right. So people do that. I mean, I love watching our people here. They're so careful. And even as we work every single day. I have not missed a day. And anybody who is in or comes into the office that needs an appointment or has an issue, they all are with their masks on, or we always inform.
That's kind of funny. I got to give it to him. At least he did that. I mean, you know, he should be doing this every day. I mean, you know, when you have Nancy Pelosi on and she says we're going to pay people's COBRA, that's when you should really do that. This is easy. Yeah, this is easy. I'd like to see him. Well, let's watch.
Or comes into the office that needs an appointment or has an issue, they all are with their masks on, or we always.
How about you do that when Chuck Schumer says, we're going to offer you low-interest loans during a pandemic? How about you say that when Ocasio-Cortez pretends it's the Republicans who are screwing everything up in the House and not the leader, Nancy Pelosi, who actually runs the House? How about you do it then? How about you do it then? When they come on and when they tell you all the stuff they got you in the stimulus bill, how about you do it then? You're like, oh. So what?
Anybody who is in or comes into the office that needs an appointment or has an issue, they all are with their masks on.
He takes his glasses off, and I'm like, that's great, that's funny, what have you. But it's only act. So I'm actually going to retract the funny part, because it's only funny if you also do it when it's actually this is when she's like a clown. But do that when Nancy Pelosi comes on and says, hey, we're going to pay everybody's COBRA. Or when Chuck Schumer says, we're going to go give you low-interest loans during the pandemic. Or when they say, hey, or when Bernie comes on and says, hey, you should vote for a guy who's obviously demented. So if you would do that then, oh my, then this would be funny too. But now this is punching down. This is punching down. This is punching down. That's what this is. That's why it bothers me. And I was correct. Okay, I knew there was something wrong. Normally, I would applaud this. Not today. Sorry, Anderson. CIA Andy.
And the office is absolutely pristine with germ-free.
You're talking about your office.
Well, hopefully everything in the building. We shut down the lobby. But we've not had a problem.
I mean, you know how look, Mayor, you love your city, and I get you want it to go back to work, and I totally get that. And you hear from people, and you know you're in a really tough position. I get it, but it just seems really irresponsible, given that you actually have no responsibility or say over casinos or what happens on the Strip, that you're not out there doing anything about. You're not doing anything about trying to improve testing like your friend Mayor Garcetti is doing in Los Angeles, or improve contact tracing. You're simply sitting there and saying, you know, get back to work, get these casinos open again. and you have no idea or plan, or you've done nothing to try to figure out, well, what's the best way to make that happen? How far apart should a dealer be from the people? How should the hours? I mean, you're offering nothing other than being a cheerleader, which I guess is what part of your job is, and I respect that. And you seem like a very nice person, but I don't understand. Do you not have any sense of responsibility if you're calling for something to at least try to work to make it as safe as possible?
I speak with.
So that was fantastic. So, wow. So that's the mayor of Las Vegas. Look at that. Hey, this is the part where I tell you where our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then I would tell you to go join our premium, but nobody has a fucking job. So why don't you just enjoy the video?